Hello everybody, Brad Johnson here, and in this video we're going to be talking about the unbounded state. Now, looking at the principle of being unbounded. Well, what does that mean? To be completely and totally without bounds. To have absolutely no form of limitation within yourself whatsoever. But of course, as we look into physical reality, as we look into everything that represents the essence of physical reality, we are completely in a state of bounded nature. We are in a bind. And we are mainly in a bind because we put so much attention on a daily basis to this. This always gets our attention. I'm having a hard time with diet. I'm having a hard time with my health. I'm having a hard time with my thoughts. I'm having a hard time with my job. I'm having a hard time with my finances. I'm having a hard time with my family. I'm having a hard time with my friends. I'm having a hard time finding a place to live. It goes on and on and on and on. It is just never ending babble that just continues, and it just it's like we're just speaking gibberish every single day of our lives. And when we wake up in the morning, the first thing we often do is we put our attention to the physical body. I'm back in this physical world again. I'm back in this physical body again. Oh, I'm lying in this bed. Oh, I'm inside this house. When is it going to end? I have to get up. I have to go to work. I have to take a shower. I got to brush my teeth. Got to have breakfast. Got to get in the car. Got to drive off to work. Got to work 9 to 5. Come home. Then make some dinner. Then put the kids to sleep. And then go to sleep myself. And we repeat. Oh, but on the weekends, maybe I have a couple days off. But no, I got to do other things in that time. When is there ever a time? When is there ever a time for us to actually move past being bounded and becoming truly unbounded? This is the greatest challenge, because this is why we ourselves come back through simultaneous incarnation, right? We incarnate again and again and again, because the universe is never going to deny what you choose. Many of us will come back into other bodies and other earths, other realities, incarnating again and again and again, because we are addicts. We're addicted to the physical body. So we keep coming back again, lifetime after lifetime, as I've talked about, simultaneous incarnations. But if we're looking at it in the convenience of linearity, yes, we can look at it through the ages, through different cycles, coming back again and again to the physical body and just doing the same thing over and over and over again, because the universe is never going to deny what you choose. Okay? So if you are in the choice arrangement of being an addict for the physical body, then you're going to be bounded by the physical body and everything that comes with the physical body. Whereas you look at the ones that come into the physical body that assist humanity in very deep spiritual ways, we can commonly refer to them as avatars in that way, then yes, they will come in, but they will see themselves as not this body. They see themselves as energy. They see themselves as consciousness, pure consciousness. And they are simply walking this body because they are here for the time that they are here to assist, to help, to reach out to other people, to work together with them, to helping them become unbounded. Okay? And then there will be those who will follow a spiritual path, and they will become like the avatars themselves as well too. I'm not too sure of the term of that. I think it was called avhoots or something like that. I can't remember the exact term in my mind right now. But it's basically like you have avatars And you would have, I guess I'll just make up a term in that way, is you become the realized. Okay? So there are those that come into the body that are already realized, which is termed as the avatars, and there are those who become realized within the physical body. They do a lot of studying, or rather in that sense, they work so deeply with consciousness that they become like an avatar themselves. So once you hit realization, you're kind of going in the opposite direction, right? So avatars will come here, they will share a lot of knowledge, they will be here amongst the people, they will teach, they will share. But then there are those in that sense who will hit a breakthrough. They'll be realized, right? So it's like I've talked about with the realized path. The realized path will come forward. They will realize that they are pure consciousness and they are no longer bound to the body. And of course, that leads them into further graduation with the Creator's path. But right now, we're just talking about the realized path. Okay? The one who is becoming realized. Now, when you become realized, you understand you're more than your physical body. That's all you really need to do, right? You're here to help people. You're here to assist others. You're here to grow and expand yourself past the confines of this physical body. And you know you are realized when you really do not care about this vessel. When you really don't even care about when your time is up. You're not concerned and clutching a teddy bear and saying, when am I going to die? When am I going to die? When am I going to die? Am I going to die tomorrow? Am I going to die next week? Am I going to die next year? When am I going to die? Like, that's the only thing that's on your mind because, again, you're going into the body principle. This becomes your entire focus. All of the eyes relating to yourself are focused on this body. And so many of us are still very tightly bounded. We feel that we walk a spiritual path, but we're still showing ourselves on a daily basis how important it is to be in the body and do a lot of these overwhelming things that take up so much of our time. Our work, our finances, our career, our family, everything. What we need to eat, what we need to drink, what type of clothing we should wear, or fashion. Right? What about our car payments? What about our rent? What about our mortgage? What about all this? It's all this consumption. It's all this gunk. And as long as you continue to follow that path, where all you think about is bodily concerns, physical reality concerns, you are going to be bounded to this reality lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, because you'll want to go back, right? When I've talked about that when you transition, you can go and you can do whatever you want, but your choices always lead you back here because you're too addicted to the body. You'll incarnate again. You'll have simultaneous incarnation and it'll happen again and again and again and again. Others in that sense who have been realized won't even go near the body. They'll go up into different spiritual domains. They'll start working with the spiritual aspects. But because so many people are addicted to the body, they will come into some plane that represents working with the physical body. So what about being unbounded? How do we become an unbounded being? Well, again, it's realizing that you have to see reality beyond what is here with appearance. You have to get past this physical nuts and bolts reality. You have to get past this idea of feeling like you have to overly take care of your body. It's not to say not to take care of your body at all, but give it just its basic needs, its basic requirements. You're eating for the body, you're doing basic exercises for the body, you're cleaning the body basically, right? Jumping in the shower, that's it. Just giving it its basic requirements and nothing more. You're not obsessing, you're not becoming an addict of the body. And when you are becoming truly unbounded, this again is, as I've talked about, is that you're moving up the love platform, right? Here's base vibration, right here. Here's you on the love platform. And you're walking this plane. And that's your life. You are completely and totally realized. And now you can even move up into the Creator's path, where you're just completely and totally of service. Okay? You move up the Creator's path, you're completely and totally in service. The Mother, the Father, is working through you. Your willpower becomes the nature of pure and total service. You don't even give a second thought about this little tiny physical body. The last thing on your mind. You don't care about it. It's nice. Sure, it's a nice vehicle. It's a nice creation. But I don't need to hold on to it and cling on to it like it is so much a dire need for me to hold on to this body because I think that's my only state of identity. And that's what so many of us relate to, is the feeling that the physical body is our identity. It's our whole way of life. It's the anchor that just takes up everything. No. It's something that you have chosen to see in that way. You have chosen to see this limited form as all that you are. But what about the etheric? What about the energetic? What about the consciousness? Aren't we able to tune into that? Aren't we able to manifest as many bodies as we want and explore any physical or astral or causal or etheric or spiritual domain that we wish? Yes, we can. Because we're only just applying a state of linear-based space and time as a state of identity. That there's a yesterday, there's a today, there's a tomorrow. And we base ourselves upon that state of convenience. Yesterday I did this, today I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm going to take care of that. Well, then you've already planned yourself out linearly, and you've given yourself no opportunity for you to function non-linearly. So this is where the idea of synchronicity comes in. This is where the idea of being spontaneous comes in. This is where the idea that you are like a compass. And Spirit is pointing your compass. So you're working with Spirit, and the compass that you're holding is what you're doing. You are using that willpower through Spirit to work with life that is a greater broadness than what we have placed upon ourselves in physical reality. So to be completely and totally unbounded is to have absolutely no relationship with this body whatsoever. You just see it as a convenience, or a conveyance, rather, I would say. A conveyance that's just having its basic needs, but you don't care. You don't care if you drop dead tomorrow. You don't care if you drop dead next week. You don't care if you drop dead 10 years from now. You don't care. You're not concerned about even losing everything. You don't care because you're an infinite being. You're infinite. You're boundless. You are unbounded. Everything that represents this universe is you, right? This is God's universe, but God created this whole universe for you to be a part of, for you to connect with, for you to say this is your true body. The universal body is your true body. And when you get into that understanding, you'll have your own universal body to play with rather than God's. So now you'll be in your own universe as an expanded universal body, because that's what it takes. Our soul has to expand to a universal level. And commonly through ourselves, our soul right now is basically just expanded to a physical body level. So when you start to raise your frequency up, you start to go up here, you move up into the love state, your aura is just shooting out. It's moving itself into greater expansion. Your light is becoming so bright. You can have a light through your soul that is as bright and as beautiful and as big as this planet. And you can go beyond that. You can make it as big as the star system. You can make it as big as the galaxy. You can make it as big as 1,000 galaxies, 1,000,000 galaxies, etc. Until you become that nature of a universal body yourself. And that's how you graduate. Because you're continuing to move into these higher love elevated states. But in order for you to go into those unbounded states, this has to be made peace with. You got to make peace with your body. You got to make peace with the idea of feeling that I'm not going to be a slave to this form. I'm not going to be a slave to this physical reality. I'm just walking through it. That's it. Sure, I'll play with the physical body. I'll play with physical reality. of play with the bodies of others, right? Looking into that idea of saying that it's a fun experience, but who cares? You're just continuously joyful at every single moment. You play with something, you enjoy an experience, the experience passes you by. Okay, I had fun. Moving on. Because I'm present, I'm here, I'm now. Right? It's like I've said as well too, that through a lot of my own spiritual understanding, because I was very much once attached to the physical body as well too, I'm not really concerned if I only have an hour left to live here in this physical body, whether it's a day, whether it's a week, whether it's a month, whether it's a year, whether it's a decade, a couple decades, etc. I don't care. This body could drop dead, 10 seconds from now, and it'd be fine. Completely fine. Because I am more than my physical body, right? We all heard that mantra. That's a very common mantra that we hear. I am more than my physical body. I am more than this physical life. We hear it, but we don't actually do it. And that again is one of the issues relating to the spiritual movement, the spiritual circles. We hear these things, right? We hear someone speaking it and saying, yes, you know that you're more than your physical body. Yes, you know that you're more than this physical life. That feels so nice. That feels so great. But you do nothing. You go back and you go back into the grind again. You go back home and you're in the grind again. Oh yeah, but I'm more than my physical body. Yeah, okay, that's nice. Shut up and go to work. And that's where we end up. We go back into the grind of life because we're not applying what that actual mantra says. If we are more than the body, let's really look into that statement. We're more than the body. What does that mean? How am I more than the body? Well, I'm pure consciousness. Everything that represents consciousness is what I am. Well, what is consciousness? Is it the state of awareness? Am I being aware that I'm more than my physical body? So if I just say, oh, you're pure consciousness, well, what does that mean? If I'm pure awareness, all right, I can be aware of everything. I can be aware of the person living down the street. I can be aware of a person that's living in South Africa. I can be aware of all people living here on this planet. I can go beyond that. I can be aware of what's happening on our moon. I can be aware of what's happening on Mars. I can be aware of our entire star system. I can go beyond that. I can look into our entire galaxy. I can look into different dimensions of reality. I can do all that if it serves me to do that. All right, we can do that. So, just being able to have those states of realization is already showing you that you're going far beyond the reaches of what your physical body can do. So when you notice that you're reaching out to other people, to which the physical body cannot carry you to those people in physical reality, and you're connecting with them, you're having telepathic experiences with others, you're going beyond the body. That's great. Now we want to expand that even more. We want to see it as a light that just keeps getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And we are becoming completely and totally unbounded. And so when you are working with being unbounded, this doesn't shackle you. This is no longer a straitjacket, right? This is just a nice little anchor that your soul has created, and you are expanding your light further and further throughout the entire universe. And you're getting so bright that you become the universe yourself. And that is graduation. That is moving you into your own universe, which means you have so much love within your heart. You're not concerned about your politics. You're not concerned about your governments. You're not concerned about your money. You're not concerned about your family. You're not concerned about your friends. You're not concerned about the well-being of this collective consciousness that we call Earth. You're not concerned about any of that at all. You are just spreading love wherever you go. You're no longer taking a part in internal Earth affairs. Okay? Otherwise known as melodrama. Right? You just don't care. about that idea. It's not to say that you're becoming apathetic, because that's a different feeling altogether. But when you're in love, you don't care about this aspect of melodrama. You don't care about these dramatic flares that come up about people saying, oh, well, this person's going to screw us around and this person's going to do that. Why are you giving power to another person? Why are you giving power to that person to think that they're going to take care of you? That is not the idea of expansion. Why are you putting so much energy into that? Right? That's a question you have to ask yourself. And this is where, again, your love is expanding. You say, I don't need anybody to take care of me. I don't need a politician to do it. I don't need some government official to do it. I don't need some other stranger to do it. I can take care of myself. Because all I'm doing is raising up in this platform. I'm moving up the base level. I'm coming into love. And I'm just walking around for the sake of walking around. I'm enjoying experiences for the sake of enjoying the experiences. Not as a body, but as the entire event. As the entire sequence. If I'm seeing thousands of people in a fair, and I'm walking through the fair, I'm going to feel everybody. I'm going to feel the collective consciousness energy of that, because I can occupy all bodies if I wish. I can occupy the land. I can see other events. I can do all of this, right? And it doesn't mean anything. It's all just a part of who we are as aware beings, as conscious beings, as unbounded beings. So again, we have to become aware to what we feel our body needs or physical reality needs so much, right? I've had comments regarding this board, right? It's kind of a shaky board. Someone saying, oh, Brad, I'll buy you a bigger board. Why? Don't need it. Couldn't care less how big this board is. As long as you can see and understand and hear what I'm doing, that's all that matters. I couldn't care less about a bigger board. I couldn't care less about all that stuff. It serves a basic need. It serves a basic requirement, right? This camera, I could always get a bigger, fancier, more expensive camera. Why? This already does what it needs to do. This is already picking up my image. This is already picking up my sound with the microphone I'm wearing. Sure, I could get bigger and better things, but why? It's serving its basic requirement, right? And we notice these things. We say, oh, I got to make this bigger, and just make it the entire wall. And then I'll put a ladder up there and I'll start writing up and I'll move the camera around so you can watch me right over the wall. Sure, that might be fun, but that's not my experience, right? This serves a basic need. This serves a basic need. This serves a basic need. I serve a basic need, a basic requirement. But again, I can let all of this go. I can leave all this behind. And that is how you become unbounded. You look at a situation and you notice that if it's pulling you into something, you're looking at that and saying, I just feel like I've been pulled, snatched here, because it really wants me to look at something. And so I'm going to work into being able to let all of that go. And how do I let that go? I go up here. Okay, I do not resolve problems down here. It's what I've talked about in the BCR technique, right? We do not go into the base level of an emotion and thinking that we can resolve it. You won't. I can guarantee you that, all right? You will not ever resolve an emotional aspect when you are on the same level of it. It'll keep coming back around again. It's a boomerang that you're throwing. And it's going to come back and it's going to hit you. And it'll be 3 times harder every single time. If you want to uplift yourself, going past this physical body, working past your emotional confinements, heavy emotions, you move up into the higher level. You move up into the love plane. So the BCR technique is just one example. The EQ method is another example. Spirit codes is another example. Okay? All of these things help you as a permission slip to moving yourself up into the higher levels of love so that you become unbounded. Every single day you wake up and you feel like you're walking on clouds, right? It feels great. Certainly I'm doing work, right? I'm putting things together. I'm doing certain forms of projects that are taking up some of my time, but they're all enjoyable. They're all things that I love to do. I will never touch a project that I hate or that I would never want to do. I would never get into that idea, right? Because I don't hate anything. I don't hate any particular types of projects. It's, oh, Brad, I want you to go and become a politician. No, thank you. No, thanks. Brad, I want you to be the Prime Minister of Canada. Hell no. No, thank you, right? That's for somebody else to do. That's not something that I have any interest in whatsoever. I respect those people that decide to go into those forms because they're just other bodies that I can occupy, but there's no interest there. There's no rapport there, right? So I'm not interested in that. I'm happy doing what I'm doing because this is the love frequency. This is where the work itself goes beyond the idea of the body. You're playing with the essence of what you enjoy. You're playing with the essence of a project, something that makes you feel excited to work with, right? There's a great deal of joy involved with it. And that's being unbounded. That's coming into the point where we are surpassing this body and we are coming into the pure state of awareness, or grand consciousness, where the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious are becoming one conscious. There really is no such thing as a subconscious, right? There's really no such thing as an unconscious either. It's all just based upon our own states of limitation, right? If we're here in the center, I'm sorry if this looks like a nipple, but if we're here in the center and we only have this field of awareness, well, then we have all this around us. It's not that it's not there. It's that we have not broadened our field to that state of awareness. So when you start working with spirit, this entire board is the universe. We can touch every particular aspect, every particular corner, every grain of molecule that is contained inside this board, because we are one with spirit, and spirit shares everything with us. Spirit can tell us everything through wisdom, right? It's the wisdom that comes together. So we are going through learning through the idea of our darkness. Our darkness is teaching us about learning, is about learning where we are impaired, where we feel that this is not our energy, right? So it's showing us this information. And then when we start to take that information and we shine a light upon it, it now becomes wisdom. And that wisdom now becomes light. Because you're not really here to learn anything from light. You're learning from your darkness because the light truly is perfection. There's nothing really to be taught through the light. The light is the result of your actions that become wisdom. And so now when you work with spirit, you're just in wisdom all the time. You're not concerning about, oh, I got this thing from spirit, I need to verify this, I need to check this, etc. Then you kind of go back into the learning curve. You go back into the aspect of the darkness because you're so concerned about verifying and cross-checking and confirming and all that. You don't trust spirit. So you basically step down a peg or two, going back here and saying, oh, I don't believe what spirit's saying to me. I need to look back at this in a book and confirm it. And again, that's fine. We can do that. But like I said, it's like we're stepping down a peg because we're telling spirit, I don't trust you. I don't trust what you're saying. I don't trust what I'm receiving. I don't trust. So we go down and we play with the shadows a little bit more. And again, this is what our shadows are teaching us. Trust spirit because it is all about truth. It's all about the aspect of wisdom. It's not going to deceive you. And you want to know that feeling of what it's like to tune into spirit. For my own particular example, it's a lightness. It just feels lighter. And there's this flow that just comes through you and it's so effortless. You're not putting any conscious thought into being unbounded. You are putting this complete and total trust in this lightness feeling, this wonderful feeling, this loving feeling, right? It's the best way I can really describe it because it's a feeling. And you want to get used to that state of feeling. Some people will say, well, Brad, has there ever been a point where you felt that you didn't trust spirit? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there certainly was. Because I wasn't sure if that was my ego coming through or if that was spirit coming through, right? I battled with that. I certainly did. But then you just learn to let go because working with the BCR technique, the EQ method, the spirit codes, and you work up into higher degrees of love, you trust what spirit's saying because you're in the same level. You're on the same alignment of that love, of being unbounded. So you're in the unbounded state by being in love, by working with these techniques. Like I said, substance always before technique. But these techniques help you. When you work together in that way, you are in the mentality, you have that essence of saying, I'm going to go in love. Good. Now that you have that essence of knowing that you want to get into a state of love, you can use a technique like this through permission to get to the top. So, in conclusion, if we truly want to be unbounded beings, we have to learn to stop binding ourselves to the physical body and being so addicted to feeling that we have to relate to everything pertaining to life through a single physical body. Because if that does not stop, you are just going to make choices over and over again that's going to put you in another body and another one and another one and another one, because that's what you're used to. That's what your mind is used to. It has to be in a body. So you go in a body again, and you go in another one again, and you go in another one again, until you feel, I'm able to let go of this body. I'm able to let it be. I'm walking the earth. I'm doing assistance. I'm helping out other people. But I'm not concerned about when the time comes for this to transition. It doesn't matter to me. That's when you know you become unbounded, because you become bodiless. You have no more addiction pertaining to the physical body. The addiction, like a drug or alcohol, or again, bodily existence, is no longer there. You've been able to become a transcending addict, and now you become this realized being. And now you move up into the Creator's path, and you go as far, as deep, as prosperous as you wish. So, becoming unbounded is letting go of all restraints, all boundaries that you feel shackle you. And when you become awareness, pure consciousness, that is you becoming a limitless form, becoming one with God again, because you become spirit rather than the idea of a physical human body. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Take care. Namaste.